previous batch examples, which one I did put? Okay. Add beneficiary, method overriding. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we will start. So where we were working on interface. Sorry, TestNG, right? So we were talking about the TestNG. Did you guys open this TestNG.xml file? It's already there in your project. It's already there in the project. Just open it, copy this entire thing, create one new file called testng.xml, paste it there. But once you paste it, make sure you should put your package name. Don't run it, it will not run. Okay. These all are my package name and my classes. So you have to go for putting your own package. Put package name dot your class name. That's all. Otherwise, you can directly control C, this control C testng.xml, go to your project. Example, this is my project. Control V. It will automatically put it in. Better option is open it and copy it. That would be the better option. Okay. Okay. So we were talking about the TestNG. We have one annotation pending. That is nothing but data-driven testing. Sorry, data provider. So we almost discussed all the annotations, like we have before suite, before test, before method, before class, before groups, etc., etc. We already discussed almost all the annotations what we have in the TestNG. I said you don't need to remember all the annotations. You don't need to remember all the annotation. But from the interview point of view, mostly they will ask only this question at the rate before test and before method. They will ask you only this question. Most of the time they are going to ask this question. Okay. So data driven test. Data driven means there are different types of frameworks. We have data driven, we have keyword driven framework, etc., etc. We don't have to worry about the frameworks now. Once we complete TestNG, then we go for Cucumber. After that, we go for understanding the frameworks. We'll do one project. I mean, we already have live project HRM. We'll try to create one framework and understand what is a framework, how to design a framework, how it basically works. Okay. Now, data driven testing means, now what I wanted to do, I wanted to go to wikipedia.com. Okay. I wanted to go to this particular website. Okay. And now what I wanted to do, I wanted to paste this wikipedia.com here. And here, there is a search option on the top, right? You see there is search option. I wanted to search with different countries. Like example, I wanted to search with India. After that, I wanted to click on the small search icon is there, right? I want to click on this search icon. So what you will be getting related to India. Now, what I wanted to do using data driven testing, I'm keep on searching. What is changing? My data is changing. First time I'll type in India. Next time I'll type with example Germany. Then I'll click on search button. So what is happening? This is called data driven testing. Data driven testing means your data is keep on changing. Data driven means it's purely driven by data. So that is what exactly called as data driven testing. What previously we discussed about the Excel, right? How to read the data from the Excel file. How to read the data from Excel file. You add some dependency called Apache Py and then try to read the data from Excel and then put it into your application. One way of doing it. So what we are doing, we are using the loops. What loops we are using? For loop. How many loops we are using? 2 loops. One is I loop, another one is J loop. One for rows, one for column. So same thing, that logic they already implemented in data provider. Framework means ready-made. Framework means ready-made, which is already available for you, So what you guys have to do, just go ahead and use them. Here, you don't need to use any loops and all. So they already implemented internally for the data provider annotation. Now, next time I want to search with another country. Now, every time I'm searching, I'm getting this name, whatever the name I'm entering, country name, whatever the country name I'm entering, I should make sure, do the assertion. I should make sure whether if I enter Germany, Germany is displaying or not. If I enter Germany, Germany is displaying or not. Means I need to get this text. You guys know we already have a get text, right? So you have to get this text. You need to get the properties for this search field. You need to get the properties for the search icon. Then you need to get the properties for this header. Okay. Now, data provider, how we need to do it in the data provider, you need to provide the name. What is the annotation? At the rate of data provider, at the rate of data provider. You have to give name equal to, like yesterday we discussed, at the rate of test, at the rate of test. So what are we doing? We are giving one parameter called priority. One parameter depends on methods. One parameter groups. One parameter enabled equal to true or false. So similar way, data provider is also one of the annotation. Similar way, data provider is also one of the annotation which will take the parameter. What is the parameter? It is going to take name of the data provider. You can give any name. You guys can give any name, but your data provider should contain at least one name. Always remember, data provider should contain the name. You can have any number of data providers. There is no restriction that I should have only one data provider. You can have any number of data providers. Every data provider should have separate name. Every data provider should have unique name. Okay. What is my data provider name? My test. So every annotation, whatever you write should be inside the function only. Yesterday we understood, right? Test case one, write some method, and then before method, write a coding inside the function. Everything you are writing inside the functions only. Example, HRM login is one function at the rate of test. Now example priorities. I'm writing one at the rate test. I'm writing coding in the. Always remember in TestNG, everything you will be writing it inside the function only. Okay. Now here I'm giving my function name as, what is my function name? Create data one. You can give any name. So it is taking, it is written. If whenever I say a function can return a value. But what this function is returning? It is returning array of objects. Array of object. Object is one predefined class. It is a super class for all the classes. If you go to Google and search it, if you go to Google and try to search it, arrange object class in Java. So object class is the parent class of all classes in Java. We have inheritance concept, right? Any class is extending. All classes that are available in Java are subclasses of object class. Object class is the super class for all the subclasses, right? In other words, it's the topmost class of Java, right? Now, what this create data one is trying to do? Create data one is returning the array of objects. So whatever test data you wanted to put, let's say, I wanted to put this as UK, United Kingdom. Okay. Now this is my test data. So data provider, what is the major intention of data provider? To take the data and it will automatically repeat how many data I have. I think 7, right? 7 or 7. I have total 7 countries. So it will automatically call the data provider 7 times. It will automatically call the data provider 7 times. How much data you are having? It will consider each data as one test case. Each data as a one test case. So how many countries I have? Total I have 7 countries. What it will consider? It will consider it as a total 7 test cases. It will consider it as a total 7 test cases. So what is my data provider name? You need to remember that, my test. Now here, before startup and all, it can ignore it. Now what I'm using, I'm saying at the rate test. Till yesterday, parameters, we understood it took priority, it took depends on method, then it took groups, then it took the, what do you call, enabled, or what is that, another one? Yeah, groups it has taken, depends on method it has taken, priority it has taken, enable it is taken. Today I am giving provide parameter as data provider. At the rate test indicate this is nothing but a test case, and you need to provide my data provider equal to, just give the data provider name. What is my data provider name? My test. This is called my test is my data provider name, right? And then I'm creating one method called test search country, because I wanted to search for the different countries. So I'm putting one method called test search country. It is taking one parameter. It is taking one parameter of type string country. Okay, I'll show you why I'm putting thread.slip later. We can see it. Now, same thing, system.set property. I'm opening the Chrome driver. Then driver.get. I'm opening this particular website. I'm opening this particular website. Okay, just go to here, Control V. Now, first what I wanted to do, I wanted to get the properties of this particular search field, right? Right click, inspect, you will get the properties for this search field. So see, it is having a name. What is the name? Search. So in case if there is any text by default, I need to clear the text. Which method we can use? Clear method. Clear is a method which is used to clear the text if it is allowable. By default, if I open my Orange HRM application, by default, it is having my username and password, right? Which is already stored here, right? So if you wanted to clear this, in case if your Wikipedia is having any text here, if you wanted to clear that, you can go for clearing the text. So what is the name of this one? Search. And I also to click on this button, I also need to click on this search button. How do you get? Click the button. Now, what is the ID? Search button. It is also having the ID. As simple as if you guys are having the ID, if you guys are having the name, just take the ID or the name. Don't go for struggling with the XPath, not needed. If you can find it, find it. If you don't, then go for using the XPath. Okay. Now, same thing I'm doing. Driver.find element by.id search input. What was the ID? Search input dot clear. Why I'm saying clear? The statement not needed. In case if your Wikipedia is having some text here, I wanted to clear it by default. Okay. Clear. After clearing, then I'm saying search input dot send keys. What I wanted to send? Country. What is the country? The parameter. What data, what it will do? The country will go to this data provider. Country value, first it will pick the India. Then next time Brazil. Next time Canada. It just goes on, picks the values, right? Now send keys, I wanted to click send country wise. What this will do? It will go to your data provider. Why it will go to the data provider? Because I'm saying data provider equal to my test. This line will tell to the test ng, okay, this test case has to connect with the data provider called my test. This test case should need to connect with the data provider. What is my data provider name? My test. So this country is one parameter. It will always go to the data provider. How many countries you have? 7 countries. How many times it will go? 7 times. So country, first time it will go to data provider and it will get the India. Am I writing any loop here to repeat 7 times? Then how it is working? That's what the ready-made implementation of your data provider. That's how they have implemented, right? Then after that, ID dot search button. Enter send keys, country, then click on search button. After searching, now example, where is that country? After clicking on, I enter this, I click on send keys. Then after that, I click on search button. I have to compare this, whether actual result and expected results both are matching or not. So to compare this, what I have to do, I have to get the properties of, see, the value is changing. The value is keep on changing. Based on what you are entering, it is selecting the same value. Whatever the value you are entering, it should match the same value. So just right click, click on inspect. So what is the ID? H1 ID equal to first heading. It is having ID equal to first heading. I'm getting that. We use XPath most of the time. It differs to project. I mean, no one will force you to use XPath only. If you get ID, use ID. In very typical cases, you go for using the XPath. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to say, I'm just saying actual result. Whatever is displayed, driver dot find element by dot ID. What is the ID of this heading? What happened? What is the value of ID? First heading dot get text. So I'm storing that value in the get text. Will do what? It will go to this particular header. What is that called? ID called? If you put the cursor, it is taking that. See, it is selecting entire thing. It is selecting entire thing. I don't know. Maybe it is selecting the spaces also. So when you want to compare both, you should not have any spaces. You should trim the space. Trim in the sense, remove the spaces and compare with the actual value. Okay. So here I'm saying actual result. I'm trying to print the, just to understand what it is getting the actual result. I'm printing the actual result. After that, what I'm doing? Assertions, assertions are majorly used for what? To find the actual result and the expected result. To compare actual result and expected results, we have to go for doing the assertions. Assert to true. This method will return Boolean. It is going to return, it will assert to true. What it is going to do? It is going to return true or false. If it is finding, if both are same. Now what I'm saying, country dot equals. Equals is country is what? Country is a string where I declared here. Country equal to string. So what method I have? Equals. Equals is a predefined method which is coming from the strings. Equals method is the one which is coming from the string. So what it is going to compare? Equals is going to compare whether actual result and compare. What is the country dot equals? Means what is the country value first time? India. It will get the India. This will contain India. Dot equals actual result dot trim. In simple term to say that I'm comparing country with the actual result. Dot trim. Why I'm saying dot trim? Actual result is what? String data type. So trim is a not predefined method. Trim and equals. These two methods are predefined methods. These two are predefined methods, and these two methods are coming from string class. Equals return true or false. If both are matching, if both are country, I'm getting it from my data provider. First time my country will be India, right? So first time my country is India, then actual result. Once you enter it, you get the actual result from here. So I am comparing the actual result with the expected results. What I am expecting? India. What it should display? India. So that's the assertion I'm doing. Why I'm using trim? In case while getting the text, if there are any empty spaces in the last or in wherever, what trim will do? Trim is going to remove the spaces. Okay. Is it clear? After method. After method, I'm saying driver dot quit. It is going to close the browser. You can use quit or you can even use close also. There is no much difference. So now try to understand what is countries. Now just try to run this program and try to observe. Try to see, it will every time open the browser, it will pick the country, it will get the actual result, and then try to compare both. What it typed? India. So what you are getting? India. Now you can go and see what it is printing here. India. I'm getting the actual result, what it is actually displaying. This time Brazil. Now you go back, see what it is printing here. Brazil. So I'm closing every time. Where I'm using it? After method. At the rate after method, I'm closing every time after executing test case. after method will execute. When it comes to UK, observe the actual result and expected result. What you will get when you enter UK. Now what I entered UK. What I am getting? Both are matching. What I am expecting? United Kingdom. Actual result, what it has given? United Kingdom. What I am taking from string, I'm giving country name equal to UK. Is both are matching? Actual result. How many test cases it will consider now? 7 test cases total. How many test cases? 7. Out of which how many should have failed? 1 should have failed. Just open it. 7 are executed. 1 test case is failed. Why it is failing? Because it is not matching. So what you are expecting? See, it is clearly saying assertion error. Expected is true, but found is false. What it is expecting? United Kingdom. What it is finding? Sorry, what you are giving in the code? UK. What actual result is coming? United Kingdom. So since both are not matching, what it will do? It will fail your test case. Where can I see my test results? Go to test output folder. You have test output folder. Sometimes it will not refresh. If it is not refreshing, go to your project, right click on your project, just refresh. You have refresh option here. Just refresh your project. Okay. Now go to your test output folder. Now you will see emailable report.html. Okay. Just double click it. Now you can see the one which is in the red color means your test case is failed. All these green ones are passed. Which one it is failed? Click it here. It will take you to that. So it is clearly saying expected is true, but found is false. Is it clear? So now yesterday I said I wanted to run only failed test cases. Total how many test cases you have now? 7. How many are failed? 1. So do you want to run again for all the countries or only one test case? Only one test case. Is it an actual issue or it's an issue with the test data? UK and United Kingdom both are same. There is no much different. UK and United Kingdom both are same. There is no much different. So do you want to run only for a UK country, right? I don't want to run it for other countries again. In simple term to say how to run only failed test cases. How to run only failed test cases. Which test case is failed? UK. Is it problem with the application or a problem with the test data? Test data problem. So what I have to change here? I have to change this to United Kingdom. I think someone raised hand. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Okay, so now enter you ask question, make a note. How to run only failed test cases? How to run only failed test cases? How to run? How to run only failed test cases? In test output folder, you know, right? When I say test output folder, it is inside your project in Eclipse. You know, otherwise you can make a note in the project of Eclipse, the project of Xplace, the project expand test output folder, expand test output folder, expand test output folder, right click on the file, you can see the file name here. Don't know whether it is visible or you're able to see it. Where see this file? testng-failed.xml. Right click on the file, testng-failed. testng-failed.xml. 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 Run as testng suite. Run as testng suite. Run as testng suite. So what it will do? How many test cases we have total? 7. Out of 7, how many failed? Only 1 is failed. So what we have to do? We have to run only the one which is failed. Which is failed? UK. So what is the issue? Test data issue. So what I did, I tried to change my test data. Instead of UK, I changed it to United Kingdom. Now right click and run as select testng suite. Did you note down this? Click on testng suite. Just click it. It will just click on OK. You can understand it will enter only United Kingdom. You see. Getting United Kingdom. Now is both are matching? Both are matching. So what it will do? Is it failing your script? How many it is running? Only 1. Why? Because we wanted to run only failed test cases. It doesn't matter 1 or 2. How many are failed? It is going to execute that many. Okay. Mostly asked question, how do you run failed test cases? Only failed. They might ask you, I have 100 test cases, only 5 test cases are failed. Do you want me to run all 100 or 5? Only 5. Then they will next question, how to run only failed. Under test output folder, this is the inbuilt feature of the testng. Testng will generate one file called XML file. testng-failed.xml. Right click on it, run as a test suite so that it will execute only failed test cases. So you don't have to re-execute all the past ones again. Okay. In this example, it is okay. Only 7 test cases. It will not even taking 1 minute time also. I can run even all of them again. But when you go in real time, you will have 400 to 600 test cases, which you would have automated. If you take the companies like Amazon or Microsoft, they will have huge automation suite. You cannot run 1,000 test cases again because of one test case is failed. But when you go to in real time, what is going to happen? You will have 400 to 600 test cases, out of which it is a common. It is expected 1 or 2, not 1 or 2, 20-30 test cases will be failing. Every time they will fail because of some XPath is changed, or ID is changed, or something is changed due to which it is going to fail. You need to analyze why it is failing. According to that, you need to update. Why it is failing in our example? Test data issue. So after running, I am analyzing why it is failing. Okay. Now someone is asking Daniel, right? Who is that? Assert line number 7. Where is line number 7? Oh, okay, I think you are saying count of cases 7. Got it. Okay. So assertion, we already understood, right? Assertions are basically used for comparing. Which one? Expected result, you should know expected result, right? As a tester, you always need to know what is expected result. What you are expecting? I'm entering India. When I enter India, what I should expect? Search result India. That is what we are doing here. You'll actual result, what it is displaying, actual result that what developer is showing. Once I enter India, if it is showing for a US, if it is giving the search results of US, do you think it's working as expected? So you already know the expected result, but you don't know actual result. What is our job? We need to verify actual result is matching or not. So what is expected? If I enter India, what should I get my search result? India. I have given one assignment yesterday. An HRM application search for employee name. Example, I have given employee name equal to Lisa. So this is what my expected result. What search results it should display? Lisa only. That is the expected result. What I said yesterday, try to put two assertions, right? One for getting the one for clicking on the employee, and second one is to get the text of that Lisa and compare whether when I enter Lisa, Lisa is displaying or not. Lisa or whatever, whenever I enter some employee name, it should show me the same employee. Search criteria. Same search also we are trying to do here. We are trying to do the same search but using the different application. Okay. Line number 51. Yeah. Assertion. So whenever we do manual testing, we always compare actual result and expected result. Whenever we do manual testing, we are always going to compare actual result and expected result. Now here, there are so many methods. Just put a dot. There are so many methods here. Assert equals. You guys can understand the importance of method overloading. What is method overloading? More than one method will have the same name. See, assert equals to how many methods they overloaded? All method names. You see, assert equal, assert equal, assert equal, assert equals till where? All these are assert equals till here, till little bit till here. All are overloaded. You can understand how many methods they are overloading. Real-time scenario. What is the purpose of assertion? Validating actual result and expected result. But data is there, keep on changing. Here they are giving three parameters: expected message, actual message, and some message. So based on that, all these assertions methods are used for validating actual result and expected result. As said, when you do the manual testing, when I'm doing the manual testing, I will have my test cases. I will see my test case, and according to that, I am going to case in the actual result. Then it will pass. But here there is no space. In case the safer side, I am putting a trim method. In case while getting this text, in case if there is any space, trim is what? Predefined method, which coming from string class. So if there is any space, trim means it is going to remove the this displaying. Now, if you wanted to know what is trim, trim is a predefined method. You can use trim method. Java. Trim method removes white spaces from both the ends of a string. Beginning, there is any space, they will remove. At the end also, there is any space, they are going to trim the spaces. Okay. Maybe you want some example, they would have given some examples here. Now here they are saying 3 spaces in front, 2 spaces in the last. Now what it is going to do when you say trim, it is removing all the empty spaces. It is removing in the beginning, it is also removing in the end. If there are any empty spaces, that's what it is going to do. Now example, this guy is giving one string, right? Very big string he is giving, something geeks for geeks, whatever, right? And then what this guy is saying, system.out.println s.trim. So what it is trying, like one more thing, Chaitanya Rao's leading books. There are, what it is removing before trim, the string S1 geeks for geeks. That's what the message they are putting. First they are printing before trim string S1. S1 dot length. You guys can just go through it in simple term to say that, you know, before trim it is giving total 21 letters, but after trim only 15. It means it is removing total 6 spaces. There are 6 spaces, so it is removing all the 6 spaces. Just for the safer side, I'm using this trim method so that if you are having any spaces in the beginning or any spaces in the last, to trim that. It is not needed. In case if they are having, you can go for using the trim method. Okay. Is it clear? Daniel, right? Yeah. Is it clear? Yeah. Okay. So now we already discussed how to run failed test cases, how to see the summary report, how it is generating the test summary. What is the purpose of testng.xml? If you wanted to run multiple test cases, some test cases in one class in one package, some test cases in another package, another class, right? So you want to run it as a test suite. Test suite means which consists of multiple test cases, because whenever you put the right click on option here, when you say run as, when you are running as testng file, it is asking run as testng suite. Suite means which consists multiple test cases. But when I right click inside this program, what it is saying, run as testng test. It is not saying suite. Here it is saying run as testng test, not as a test suite. So testng suite, testng.xml is a file where you guys are putting all your test cases. If you wanted to run group wise also, you can run group wise also. Yesterday I created one program called groups, right? Can you just do that groups program? Just go to Google. Just say running testng with groups. Don't go for command line and all, is not needed. You can just search, right? So you can just take it up and try to update your what do you call class name. I'm putting the class name and then again test name. They're adding one tag called groups. Just add one tag called group, include name equal to whatever the group name / groups. Only this one you need to add extra to your testng.xml. Well, maybe people might ask you an interview question. I don't know how to run it group wise. Just say that in testng.xml file, add groups tag and mention your group wise. Like example, I have some test cases belongs to regression. Some test cases belongs to only smoke testing. First, what testing we do? First, we do smoke testing. Once it is working fine, then we do the system testing. Once system testing is completed, then we go for regression testing. First, you do smoke testing, then you go for system testing. After doing the system testing, whenever you get a next sprint, do the regression testing of previous sprint. Your sprint keep on increase, your automation also keep on increase. Sprint 1 automation, sprint 2, sprint 3, etc. etc. So first I will, let's say I have 50 test cases which belongs to smoke group. I have 50 test cases which belongs to the smoke group. So I wanted to run first smoke group, then I wanted to run the regression. I'll create two groups, one group for smoke, one group for regression. First run the smoke and then run the regression. So you can run it using the group wise in testng.xml file. Okay. So with this, we are done with the testng. I think you were saying we didn't talk about the screenshot, right? Did I explain how to capture the screenshot? We didn't talk. Okay, that is one thing. What is another thing you were saying? Robo class we did not discuss. Okay, we'll create. Sikuli we discussed. Take screenshot. Okay, this is coming in where? Yeah, this is in the Selenium with Maven only. It is already there. I don't need to put it in a Google Class device. So screenshot, basically, whenever we see the test case is failing, what we generally do, we capture the screenshot and attach it to the defect, right? So how to capture the screenshot using automation? When you are doing manual testing, you can capture yourself manually and then put it. But if you wanted to capture the screenshot, using your automation script, you guys can go for capturing the screenshot. They have predefined method. All Selenium is what? Predefined classes, predefined methods only. You don't need to write a big logic code to get the screenshot. Just use a predefined method called get screenshot as. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to open google.com and immediately I wanted to take the screenshot. Just showing how to take the screenshot example. Now, whenever you wanted to take the screenshot, it is nothing but a file. We already discussed about the file class while reading the data from Excel. So file is a predefined class which is coming from Java. File is a predefined class which is coming from the Java. So file screenshot I'm just saying take screenshot. Don't worry, this is typecasting. You can just ignore it. Driver dot get screenshot as. There is a predefined method which is called get screenshot as. What it is saying, capture the screenshot and store it in the specified location. Now what I'm saying, output to dot. How you want this file to be taken? There are multiple formats. Whether you want to take it as a class file, or you wanted to consider it as a file, or you wanted to consider it as a bytes, or you wanted to consider it as base64. These are the different formats of the file. So most of the time we always take it as the file. So I'm specifying output type dot file. Okay. Now that would be stored in a file called screenshot. So file class is used only for specifying the file location and all. But when it comes to utilities, now file utils to read it or copy it. Copy file is a predefined file. Copy file, what it says, copies a file to a new location. Where I'm saying go and put my screenshot with the screenshot name called homepage screenshot.png. Since it's a Google homepage, I'm just giving file name. Where I'm saying get this output type equal to file and copy that file into the location. The copy file will give you two parameters, source and destination. SRC file means source file. DST file means destination file. What is the source? You already taken the source. Where do you want to put it? Destination. Where I'm giving the path, I'm giving C:\Ashok homepage screenshot.png. So let me go to C drive. C drive. What is that file? Ashok C:\Ashok. I'm already C:\Ashok. Now, okay, open Ashok. You see something called homepage screenshot. What is the timestamp? 8th June. 0808. Now let me run this program. It will automatically update your now come back here. I think it's not updating the date. This program executed. Yeah, just try to refresh it. So okay, let me delete file itself. I deleted the file. I don't know, some reasons it is not updating the date stamp. Just run it. What it will capture? Whatever the browser it opened. What it opened? Homepage.java Google page. Go back. See, it's created, but some reason I don't know why it is taking 0808 only. It is taking 08 only. I don't know the reason. Refresh. Even it took a lot of time in the previous batch also. It took the screenshot. What is the screenshot? Whatever I opened, it is taking the same screenshot. So it was opened everything, right? It took everything here. Okay. But I don't know, even I deleted the file, right? The file deleted, again the file is placed, but the timestamp is not updating. I don't know the reason. Okay, this is how you take the screenshot. Now, coming back to the robo class example, I have facebook.com. Robo class is a predefined class. It is coming from Java, not from Selenium. Robo class is coming from Java, not from the Selenium. So I'll go to facebook.com. Okay. I enter user ID, I enter password, then clicking on login or pressing enter is same. Robo class majorly used for what? Handling the keyboard events, of your laptop, or it can be your desktop also, it doesn't matter. Mostly interview ask question, how do you handle keyboard events using the Selenium? Okay, you can say robo is a predefined class which basically used for handling the keyboard events. I think I should have created a class called Robo. Okay, yeah. Don't go for this one. Go to Robo example. So what I'm saying, I'm going to the facebook.com. Okay, I'm entering email ID. I cannot give my password, so I'm just giving some password. You guys can change it once you take it. So I'm taking the user ID password. After that, here I'm creating a robo class. So whenever you use a class, what you have to use? You have to import the class. See, I'm importing the robo class. You have to import one more class called key event. Okay. Now what I am saying here, robo equal to new robo. So I'm creating an object, right? Robo class throws AWT exception. Okay. Now thread.sleep. Now robo is an object. See, there is a difference between capital R and small r. Don't think this is and this is both are the same. It's a just object name. Okay. So robo dot key press. You will always have two functions. One is key press and key release. So whatever key you wanted to press, obviously when you type immediately you release it, right? When you want to type something, type and release it. You don't keep pressing it. You press it and release it. So we have two methods. One called key press. One method called key release. Whatever key you are pressing, you have to release that particular key. So what I'm saying, I'm entering my user ID, I'm entering my password. After that, I want to click on enter. This makes your job simplified because every time you have to go and get the properties, driver.find element, etc. etc. Instead, what I will do, I just press enter from my keyboard. Both are same. Pressing login or pressing enter from your keyboard, both are same. So what I'm saying here, I'm directly saying robo key press. Key event is again predefined class, which is coming from Java. Okay. So key event dot vk underscore enter. Now you put a dot. Whatever you have in your keyboard will have numbers, ABCDs, backspace, forward space. Just put the dot here. When you put the dot, you will see all these things. Or you want to enter 0. You want to enter 0. VK underscore 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here what we are saying VK underscore enter because I wanted to enter. But here you all have VK underscore enter. You want to use what you call backslash. You guys can see. Yeah, you see backslash. All keyboard events, whatever you want to press on cancel button, right? Colon, I wanted to put colon. Anything you wanted to use, all keywords are available in your key event dot. Just press the event dot, you will get everything. You select whichever you wanted to use. I'm using what? VK underscore enter. What I'm pressing, enter. Whatever you are pressing, you have to release. You cannot keep pressing the enter, right? So immediately after pressing the enter, I'm saying robo dot key release. So key release doing what? It is just trying to release the key. Press it, same manual thing. You press enter and immediately release it. Same thing we are trying to do. You can just update. With your user ID password just to see whether it is pressing enter or not for your Facebook. Okay, and I think we also have one more class called what you call okay, the automation. You have one more class called keys. I think earlier there was no class from the Selenium. Keys in Selenium. So they see these guys are putting I'm not a robo. Similarly, we can use enum different. Okay. It's up to you. When earlier we were having only one option to use the robo class. Then later Selenium people also implemented their own class called send keys dot enter. But here one advantage if you use keys class is, if you use keys class advantage, you don't need to press and you don't need to release. If you go for robo class, you have to press and one more line you have. For every press, you have to write one release. But when it goes to the keys class, you can just, there is no press, there is no release. Keys dot enter, it will automatically press the enter. You can even use this one also. Okay. Arrow key, down, up, all this thing. Keys dot arrow underscore down, keys dot arrow underscore up. So whatever keys you have on your, keyboard, either it is from the laptop or the keyboard is from your desktop. It doesn't matter. Keyboard is a keyboard. Any actions you wanted to perform using your keyboard, there are two ways to use it. One is using the robo class, one is using the keys class. I would prefer to go for using the key class because key class is having very straightforward. You don't have to press and release, press and release. If I want to type 10 keys, I have to release 10 times. So here it will only 10 lines of code. There it will become 20 lines of code because every press there should be a release. So better to go for using keys class. Okay. So whenever you wanted to use the keys class, you need to make sure you need to import the class. Like how we are doing, we are importing the robo class here, right? We are importing the robo class. Same thing, we have to do it here. Okay, so Monday we will not have a class. We have 15th August, so we will not have any class on Monday. We'll have next class on Tuesday. Okay, so what is pending to cover till test? Cucumber is pending, right? Cucumber is pending. Then we already, what is the next one? Cucumber is pending. GitHub is pending. Before to GitHub, we will go with what? Once Cucumber is done, we'll go for frameworks, which is most important thing. But for freshers, they would not expect that you know the framework. It is always better if you add to your resume that you know page object model, you know Cucumber, you know TestNG, you know Jenkins, you know GitHub. These things would be added weightage to your CV. These would be added weightage to the CV. So what and all pending? Cucumber, frameworks, GitHub. After GitHub, you have what? Jenkins. You have one more thing pending, Jenkins. I think these are the 4 things what are pending. Probably I'm expecting we might be able to complete the course by next week, 20th, Friday or Saturday. In case if we are not able to complete by 20th, we'll spend on Monday also. There is no rush that we have to finish it on 20th. There is nothing like I have another batch immediately on Monday. I always keep, let this batch go it in smoother and then we'll go for blinking. So mostly by 20th, we should